Good afternoon, everyone. It's almost evening, and respected teacher and my fellow classmates. Well, most of them are gone. That's my bad word. I, Sripali Das, a student of English department of this prestigious college, I'm delighted to welcome you to today's presentation on the history of English sonnets. Let's begin our exploration with the fundamental question: what is sonnets? If we go by the textbook definition, a sonnet is a 14-line poem with a specific rhyme and meter. Well, it has octave, it has sestet, and also volta, which is a turn of thought and argument in sonnet. As we transition to the English Renaissance, we encounter poets like Thomas Ward and Henry Howard, who experimented with the sonnet form in the 16th century. They can be called the predecessors of Shakespeare's sonnet. Well, Ward introduced the form which was later improvised and popularized by the great Shakespeare. Next enters William Shakespeare, the literary giant of Elizabethan era. Well, Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets in his lifetime, and they can be categorized into three parts. One to Fair Yachts. One of the example of Fair Yachts sonnet is Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? Dark Lady sonnets. One of his example is My Mistress' Eyes Are Nothing Like the Sun. And on Rival Poet, sonnet number 154, The Little Love Got Lying Once Asleep. The Elizabethan and Jacobean era witnessed the rise of popular sonnet sequences like Edmund Spenser's Amoreti, Philip Sidney's sonnet sequence, Astrophel and Stella and Samuel Daniel's Delia. They contributed to the flourishing tradition of sonnet. Moving on into the 17th century, metaphysical poet John Donne's unconventional approach to religion and to love expanded the boundaries of sonnet form. And again, John Milton also contributed in sonnet form, and he became a vehicle for political and religious commentary, showcasing the adaptability of the form. And as we transition to the Romantic era, there's poets like William Wordsworth, Gerald Manley Hopkins, John Keats, who focused more on nature, individual emotions, and individual expressions. At last, the 19th and 20th century brought further evolution, sonnet themes and styles. Poets such as Elizabeth Barrett Browning, W.E. Yeats continue to shape the sonnet tradition with their unique perspectives. And in the contemporary era, poets like Terence Hayes, Tracy K. Smith, Claudia Rankine, they all continue to experience and revitalize the sonnet form. Now, I would like to invite questions from people present over here, from teacher or any students, if you have any questions.
Okay, it is very good that you pointed out several modern and contemporary sonneteers. Can you give one example of how the modern sonnet has deviated from the classical Shakespearean form that we studied in class?
Ma'am, what we studied in class, the classical Shakespearean sonnet, were about love and about very old age topics. But all these modern writers started writing on the current scenarios and the current situations, circumstances, and they took out inspiration from the bad conditions or the status of women in society or about the poor people. They started writing about them. So this is how it differs from.
Alright. Okay. There's also a form difference, especially in the sonnets of Gerald Manley Hopkins, which are called half sonnets, because there is a half line which is not the 14-line structure.